Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another video. This time is of the PX exclusive Mezco 112 Hal Jordan. So, yeah, we already got Jon Stewart. Now we're getting Hal Jordan. Hopefully, we will get Guy and we'll get Kyle in some shape or form. Hopefully, I'm hoping we do because I have really enjoyed the Jon Stewart one. I took a ton of photos of that, and I'm going to enjoy taking pictures of Hal Jordan. It's on the same body. It's a different paint scheme, different heads. But, for those of you that want to know, that's why you cover the different stuff. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's get a quick look at Hal as I move him up. But I try not to get too much. There we go. That looks nice and pretty. Now, we all know Hal rocks the domino mask. He wants to hide his identity, while Jon just doesn't give a goddamn at all. So, we have white gloves. We have a different design here overall. And we have the white boots. Pretty much, it's one of those things now where you're getting into aesthetics of whether or not you like a particular character. For people like me who like me personally, it's in order. It's gonna be Jon, it's gonna be Kyle, then it's gonna be Guy, then it's gonna be Hal. And that's because Kyle and Guy for me are second place. But if you read the Pete Tomasi Green Lantern Corps stuff, you will absolutely adore Guy Gardner and Kyle, and I love those two together. But Hal is like the most boring to me. But in that case, like I said, if you were talking about aesthetics and who you like, and if you read a lot of Silver Age stuff, Hal is going to be the guy you know. You watch Coast City Fall and Perish and all that other good stuff. So it's cool to see all that. But anyway, I'm rambling on and talking about that stuff that you don't care about. So I like the look of this, though. Gotta honestly say, the youthful Hal Jordan, they didn't give him the gray streaks like when he became the Spectre and stuff like that. And he looks really good as an intergalactic space cop here. It's just overall a good look. It is a nice modernized design to what's going on with Green Lantern. Think of it as your new 52 Hal Jordan look, just more modernized for the Mezco look. You're definitely going to get what you like. Now, anyway, let's talk about articulation. Our heads can go up. It can go down. And as you can see here across this line of sight is just slightly downward, but not a lot. And then we have that ab crunch that can aim forward. That gives you a better line of sight going down. Then we have our arms, which as you can see can go up and can go all the way up here. So you can actually extend very, very well. Actually extends very well. We can actually pose that arm back down too as well. His arms do have a bicep swivel. They are double jointed. Very nice, very nice. Then you get your standard wrist peg articulation. When you pop this off, you can able to move it up, down, around, left, right, A-B start. Rest in peace. But yeah, you also can tilt that ab crunch side to side as well. Same thing that you do with Jon. Now, our legs as well, they can go forward. They are double jointed. They actually have there's no boot swivel here, but you do have a thigh swivel. And you can actually capture a ton of flight poses with these guys with no problem whatsoever. As you can see here, you can actually look really good. Get that the Yvonne Reese art style going on with your Hal Jordan. It's a good vibe and it looks great. It's one of those things aesthetically wise, if you were worried about this figure, I don't think you have much to worry about anymore. It definitely is captured very well in the look of him. I'm a big Green Lantern guy, definitely under the Jeff Johns run and the Pete Tomasi stuff. So I am going to really, really like this figure. And as you can see up close and personal, you can get really, really good in what's going on. So, just like with Jon, we actually get the same amount of accessories. There are no different accessories. You just get an outfit change and a different personality-wise. But you do get a new head, and that is a screaming head for him. And while by itself it doesn't look that good, in action poses it actually looks absolutely phenomenal. So keep that in mind. So then we have our effect parts. So you're going to get your shield effect. The ring hand is actually attached to that. Lanterns tend to defend themselves pretty well, and the ring shield effect I think is a staple that I think belongs to all lanterns, and I'm okay with this. So this one being a soft malleable plastic, it's totally fine. Then you have your ring burst effect. Pretty dope stuff. All standard, really cool stuff. We all know Hal is more about there's no precision. It's all about imagination and willpower, and kind of like the boxing glove stuff. These are things that you know you're going to get with him, and that's things I would have liked with him. But these standard constructs are just fine. When it comes to Hal, his style is definitely more of aeronautics, what's plain and simple to his imagination, straightforward. Then you have the flare burst effect. And you use this straight on by attaching the hand. So you can attach it on the left or the right hand. Does not matter. Then you have your starlight effect. Really good stuff. This is also another one when signifying for the corpse to light up their lanterns or things like that. Just like a homing beacon. This actually is totally fine as a staple in my opinion. Then as far as other hands, the specialty hand you're going to get is the glowing ring hand, which is like the burst of willpower coming right out of it. So keep this in mind. Then you're going to have your open palm hand. You'll get two of these. One is right here being on the body as well. The ring being on the right hand. You're going to get your two flight hands. You're going to get two closed fists, one being here, one being over there. And you get one hand for holding your lantern. Your lantern's right here. Lantern's pretty cool. The lantern hand is actually pretty well. And you can actually use it to hold other stuff. So if you want to hold other weapons and things like that, it's totally fine. Now, as always, if you already know what you're doing with Green Lantern, I'm going to cut this off for a second. So we can show off some normal light. And as you can see, when you put the ring to the lantern on the standard hand, the lantern lights up. And it lights up pretty bright under low light. The batteries come with it as well too. So just keep that in mind. But yeah. Overall, I think this is a very solid piece. And if you want to collect the 4 Earth Lanterns, this is one you'll definitely be wanting to get in your collection. I highly recommend it, especially if you like Green Lantern. Or if you're just a fan of the casual stuff. Real quick, I'm going to show him next to John Stewart. And I think these two absolutely look great together. Space Cops. So this is a good look. This is definitely a good look amongst the two. And if you put the two side by side, you'll see that although the boot design is the same, their stencil design here is not. Which is why you'll get these two different designs. It's really cool. Let's make John look straightforward too. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, for those of you that are wondering about other sides of stuff, if you have the DC multiverse stuff, here is a Kyle Rayner next to those guys. This is from the newer stuff from Mattel. And he's way bigger than these guys. But again, if you're doing a group shot and stuff like that, I think this will work out in your favor. With the DC Icons stuff, as far as Green Lantern goes, the older Green Lantern is smaller, but not too much smaller, but he is smaller, especially proportion-wise. So keep that in mind. Crap. Didn't mean for him to fall. Let's move him off to the side. Then we have, what I'm going to do is DC Essential Sinestro. And I think this one is imperative for people that they want to know. I did not review Sinestro. I thought he would come with more, just to come to the bare minimum of stuff. He didn't come with anything, so I just was not too happy about that. So that means you're just getting the same body, which it's like whatever. Now this Sinestro is gigantic. And what's crazy about it is, Sinestro is supposed to be tall. Sinestro is 6'7" as he's listed, which I think is crazy because they always kind of make him seem small and minuscule. And I don't know what that's about. So technically here, I think this isn't too crazy, but it is pretty big. Next up, we're going to compare him to the Mcfarlane Batman Who Laughs. He is one of the things I recently picked up thanks to Ty Butler, who went out of his way to show me these guys aren't so bad. So I may be reviewing this guy. So here he is next to the Batman That Laughs. And as you can see, he's pretty tall, but he's always seen as a much taller character as well. But the Mcfarlane stuff is 7 inches. So I don't really know if this actually scales well or it's because he's drawn completely differently. So I am unsure on that one. Then we have the NECA Predator. And this is a Sinestro Core Predator. And I think this size-wise works absolutely phenomenally well because the Predators are always much bigger anyway. So this is right in that perfect ballpark. Then we're going to compare it to a Marvel Legends. Here is a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. As you can see, it scales pretty well with Marvel Legends. Next, we have a Lightning Collection Red Ranger. The SPD1 to be exact. And then we have a Mythic Legions Orc. If you're asking about the head is a custom one made by Old Boy. So keep them in mind. Hopefully they'll offer it later. So voila. There's a lot of red going on here against that green. Maybe I'll make him a red lantern, right? Next up, we'll compare it to some other Mezcos very quickly. So here he is next to Batman and a Green Lantern. And size-wise, I think he's going to fit in pretty well with these guys. Next up, we have an Articulated Icons Ninja. Can't go wrong with ninjas in space. Here he is next to an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuuga. And I want to compare him next up to some NECA stuff. So I'm going to move these guys right out of the way. Let's center you. And I want to compare him to a NECA Mad Predator. Just in case, you know, body-wise, it didn't seem okay to you. And then we have an Avp Alien. And considering these, I've crossed over before, I think this is a right up their alley for stuff. As you can see, the Alien is much significantly bigger to the point where he's off the screen. And I think for that, you know, that real good look, this would be a great look for you. Overall, I was already happy with Jon Stewart. I'm even happier with with Hal. So you know I'd be happy with a Kyle if we got one. I just blurted it out by mistake. So yeah, I'm very happy with Hal. And hopefully I will get a Kyle. Hopefully we'll get Guy. And if we don't, I'd be pretty sad. But I know that I'm looking forward to hoping that we see them. I don't know if we will, though, because, you know, I don't think these did too well. But I hope they did. Because I would definitely like to see the first 4 Earth Lanterns. Maybe even reaching out in the future to the other 2, like Simon Baz and Jessica. So who knows, right? In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it informative. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.